like a Hellcat.
Welcome back to Celtic Talks and happy spring equinox. We're making a treat for you today. So this is going to be a breakfast, lunch, or dinner, however you want to do it. Take about 3 to 4 tablespoons of butter, and you're going to melt the butter in the pan. And then we have our spaghetti squash right here. I already gutted these, but we're going to be using those as our bowls. And then we have our collard greens, some tomatoes, the spaghetti squash innards, the guts, and then we have 3 eggs and 3 limes. It's a quarter lime and 1 egg each portion, so we're making 3 portions. We only have 2 bowls, but we're making 1 for a friend later. So you melt all this butter first. While we're doing that, actually, we're going to go ahead and take our other burner and turn it on medium. Some oil, and then we're going to go ahead and cook our eggs while we're doing this. Almost forgot the egg ring. If you don't have an egg ring, don't worry, but I do have egg rings, so I am going to use egg rings. They don't, again, doesn't really matter if you do or don't. This is mainly just for to make the egg look nicer, but it doesn't really matter if you use the egg ring or not. It tastes the same anyways. And we're going to put our egg ring there, and we're going to let our oil heat up more. Now, if you didn't have an egg ring, you could go ahead and put the egg in now. But since we do have an egg ring, we want the egg ring and the oil to heat up so that when we pop the egg in, it cooks right away. We don't want it to seep through the cracks, because liquid always finds a way. Look at all that butter. Look at all that butter. Jeez. When you're cooking with collards, it soaks up butter like a freaking wildfire. So you need a lot of butter to cook down the collards. Oh, and you want to melt the butter on medium, in case I didn't specify. You want to melt it on medium heat, because that's what we're going to be cooking the collards on, and you don't want it high because you don't want the butter to burn. So you want it on medium. So this is a dish I came up with on the fly. I actually did a lot of research into spring Equinox and its dishes, and then came up with my own. Because spring Equinox is all about creative and inventive, and it is all about renewal and natural elements. So key to get that right. Okay, now that our butter is melted in here, we're going to go ahead and add our collards first so that we can cook these down. Okay. And in case you've been wondering, since we actually did get our office up and running, I have been doing a lot more research into cultural holidays and everything like this. So you will see a lot more culturally inspired dishes when it comes to cultural.
Along with a couple surprises.
Holidays. Yeah, along with a couple surprises. Because I am going to do what I always do and put my own personal spin on it, as cooking should be. Cooking is all about creativity and creativity. It's a art form.
Also, now that we got our office up and running, you will get to see more variety. They will not all just be cooking and mixology.
No, we actually do have a plan, and we actually have been working hard to plan out for new additions to the channel to be released on our 1 year mark. So we will announce those when our channel reaches 1 year on that very day.
Which is May 17th.
Yep.
So that day you'll actually be getting a double feature. These will be an announcement video. And
we will be doing one of every. Actually, we're doing one of every.
Yeah.
Of those videos, so it won't quite be a double feature. I don't think there's a word for it.
Yeah.
Point is, you'll be getting multiple videos in that one day.
We'll just call it a double feature because I don't think a quintessential feature is a thing.
I don't think there is a word for like six videos in one day.
A series? A saga? I don't know. Give us a word in the comments.
In one day.
Yes, give us a word in the comments. See if we can figure out this conundrum.
Okay. So, in case you didn't hear, our oil just popped. That's how we know we can put our egg in.
Look at that, nice and come together. Another thing you'll be able to see in the coming year is we'll be updating our camera equipment.
Yes, we will not be using my phone much longer. Because right now we're doing everything on my cell phone. Because that's how we started this out. We started this out with no money, and now we're getting some money, so we will be putting some of that we'll be putting all of that investment back into the channel, but I'm saying we'll be putting some of it till production equipment. We already put some of it to update the channel intros to make the to increase the production value. So we're adding some sea salt right now to the collards. I just added some sea salt.
Also, if you'd like to help us with our updates, you can donate to our Patreon.
Yeah. And we're adding some black pepper too. And believe it or not, this is the only seasonings I'm adding. That's right, no garlic.
It's a miracle. Maybe he wants vampires to be able to eat this one.
Spring Equinox is all about natural elements. The flavor should be able to speak for itself. So I am only adding salt and pepper to this dish. And specifically sea salt, because again, emphasis on flavor. Sea salt just brings together the dish more, and it just brings together all that beautiful flavor. So our collards are almost completely cooked down. So what we're adding next is now that, yeah, the egg is so beautiful right now.
Yeah.
We're adding next to our collards is the spaghetti squash. I'm gonna go ahead and put our spaghetti squash in there. Get that nice, vibrant color mixture going. Alright. That is actually exactly how I wanted the egg. That worked out perfectly. So again, I haven't done this before, believe it or not. Beautiful. How that turned out. Sunny side up perfectly.
Nice.
Perfectly sunny side up. That's exactly how I wanted it.
Yeah.
Oh, if you could smell the aroma from that, it's simply beautiful. Again, we need smell-o-vision.
Yeah. Unfortunately, even with the technology somewhat probably existing somewhere in the scientific field, it's probably way out of our price range.
Yeah.
However, if someone in our comments ever creates a cheaper version of Smell-O-Vision that works, we'd gladly buy it from you.
We'll gladly test it, too.
Yeah. We'll be the beta and alpha testing.
Yeah. We'll test it on our channel, because that way you know it'll work.
And all we ask in return is when you become big enough, you can sponsor us.
Yeah. Donate some money to our Patreon.
Pop in. Okay, nice. So mix it in. The vibrant green, the yellowish orange.
The orange, which is now yellow, but yeah.
That's my point.
Because it's yellow when it, when you cook spaghetti squash, it turns yellow. Yeah. But spaghetti squash is one of those things, it smells like pumpkin and it doesn't have much flavor to it, which is why we're mixing it in with the collards and the salt and the pepper, sea salt and the pepper. But not only, this is what our limes are for. We're doing this to give it a little more of a flavor. The bitterness of the bittersweetness of the lime is just what we need to bring this dish together. So again, we're making 3 portions, so we're using 3/4 limes. All right. And so how beautifully that is mixed in now. Now it's time to add our tomatoes to the mix. And we're gonna roast those up a bit in this mixture. Oh yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about with the spring coloration. How beautifully that mixes in together. Perfectly harmonious. Is it getting steamy in here?
Yep.
Oh. And it's now fried egg ring, which is okay. Did he not clean it? Or did he put it back in the wrong spot? Whatever. I guess I'll use this. Beautiful, beautiful, sunny side up eggs. And we just got one egg left to cook up. For our friend, our Freund. That's what it is in German, right?
Yeah.
Freund. All right. Oh, that smells so good. Do you smell it too? Oh, jeez. And to think this was just in my mind a while ago.
Yeah.
Because, again, this is not a recipe I got off the internet. This is 100% me.
No.
100%. I literally just came up with this while doing research for the channel.
We were looking at different dishes and ideas, and then this is what he pulled together.
I didn't like how any of them. I didn't like the way all of them were. I wanted something more creative, something more inspiring. So I decided to pull together and come up with something so creative. I have no idea what it is.
Yep.
So again, this doesn't even have a name right now.
Again, if you want to leave suggestions for names in the comments, go right ahead.
This doesn't even have a name because I came up with it just so abruptly. Ew. Look at that. So beautiful. Turn off heat at this point, yeah. Because this is all about the natural elements of cooking. In spring equinox dishes, you can add meat, although it is just chicken and lamb, but you can add meat. And then we have our beautiful, beautiful sunny side up eggs. Just layer those on top. Look at that beautifulness. I'm gonna take this one off because this one should be done. And then you're just going to finish this off on top with some freshly ground black pepper. Because again, this dish should speak for itself in terms of flavor. I shouldn't have to add more than just salt and pepper and butter. Because it's all about that natural earthiness texture. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put one on a plate for me. Leave this one on a plate for our cameraman. I'm going to get actually, I'm going to get a spoon. So yeah. Let's go ahead and try this. Get some of the, break some of the yolk up, get some of the yolk of the egg there too. Blend that together. Look at that. It blends so beautifully. You can taste the butter in there perfectly. And then, so you can taste the butter in there perfectly. And the way it just blends in together with the tomato and the spaghetti squash. The spaghetti squash just soak up that butter. So now you have like a beautiful, beautiful flavor. Almost cheesy, but not quite. And it blends beautifully with the egg and that fresh yolk. It blends just beautifully together. I mean, I don't know how better to say it. Make some for yourself. But yeah, I'm gonna turn it over to our camera guy so you can try it. I guess grab a fork.
Yes.
In our other, yeah, just take the gourd off.
Yeah. I can get this.
Try and break it up. Whoa! You just splashed me.
Sorry.
Careful. You need to break it up. So.
Yeah, I know. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. There we got it. Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Very good. A bit chewy, but it's very good. You can definitely hear the crunch when you're eating it.
Yeah. All right, and that's it for us here on Celtic Talks. Happy spring equinox and be safe out there.